league's like, no, you don't have any say in this. A, you don't know what you're talking about. And B, a lot of times you guys aren't watching a specific play. I mean, you've seen these coaches when they throw the flag out for a replay, how often they whiff it. I mean, they're up there like relying on the replay. They're listening to coaches. They can't see stuff. You don't know. That play's on the opposite side of the field near the pylon. You got 25 guys in front of you. You're on a headset. You're in a huge stadium. You can't hear how violent it is. You don't know. And by the way, the officials deemed during a timeout, he was all right. Then the NFL issued a statement saying, under the protocols, he's all right. And each team now has a neurologist not affiliated with the team. They said it's all right. I mean, I think sometimes, sometimes the media here is like it's almost like they're rooting against football. Seriously. I mean, half the time it feels like they're rooting against football. Yes, they're dangerous. We all know they're dangerous. Duh. But two doctors came out last week. Two top surgeons came out last week and said this soccer concussion thing is malarkey. This is not global warming where obviously something's happening, all right? This is not global warming. This is a hotly debated topic among top surgeons. You know, people don't understand this. Cheerleading has a huge percentage of concussions. Soccer, girls' high school soccer. But are they, if they deemed last week, two top surgeons who have studied this, these are surgeons who have studied it, they have determined that if you mean to head a soccer ball in a game, it's what they call a purposeful header. It's not going to create a concussion. Now, if you get sandblasted from 12 yards because somebody hits a shot in the side of your head, then you could have a concussion, and that would be dangerous. But two surgeons who know a lot more than me or anybody listening have deemed purposeful heading in soccer, no concussion. Oh, you're asking a football coach to make a call on this stuff? Come on. You got to be reasonable. The concussion crowd has to be reasonable on this stuff. We know it's dangerous. That goes without saying. We know it's dangerous. It's like working on an oil derrick. It's like being a cop. There are jobs in this country, and somebody has to do them that are dangerous. Football's violent. Law enforcement can be violent. Working on an oil rig can be violent. A longshoreman can be violent. A taxi driver can be dangerous. These are real jobs. Somebody's got to fill them. You know, I mean, the idea, you're never going to create a perfect game. It's like Shannon Sharp said last week. He goes, my grandma and all her friends, they had Alzheimer's. We're going to blame football? I mean, we can't. Not everything that happens to somebody at 75 if they played in the league is the league's fault. I mean, come on now. You're asking a football coach when the play's 40 yards from him to be the expert? Come on. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. Evan in Hollywood, you're in the herd. Fire away. Thanks for calling.
Thanks, Colin. Huge fan. I totally agree with you. I feel like the media, especially lately, really has it out for football, and they kind of forget the fact that the violence in football is part of the reason everyone watches. It's what makes it popular. If you made football flag football, no one would watch. So,
well, sometimes, Evan, it's interesting. You get a false narrative. I've been saying this about our president. Whether you like him or not, he inherited a complete nightmare. Think of Barack Obama as inheriting an 0-16 NFL team. Now the housing market's up through the roof. The stock market's through the roof. Inflation's settled. Gas is an all-time low. The jobs report, the last two jobs reports have been unbelievable. The narrative, though, is the world's falling apart because of ISIS. That's just a false narrative. The world's not falling apart. This idea the NFL and Roger Goodell are trying to injure players, they have gone out of their way the last 3 or 4 years to do everything to make the game safer. And it is safer statistically. There's no question, but it's never going to be completely safe. It's big, strong guys running through each other. That's what the sport is. All right, wait till Christine gives you this report. This is going to be my favorite story in a long time. Christine with who?
No.
Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
I see the smile on your face. I'm going to give it to you second, so you have to hold on
that's fair.
Just a second.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, so baseball is investigating Aroldis Chapman under the domestic violence policy. Apparently, on October 30th, he and his girlfriend got into some kind of a disagreement, and according to a police report, Chapman fired 8 gunshots in the garage of his home. He was accused of choking his girlfriend.
8 gunshots?
8 gunshots. So Chapman admitted that he fired the gunshots, but denied choking his girlfriend. So according to ESPN, baseball's investigation is not holding up the trade. It's the Dodgers who are trying to see now, do we want to do
So
this?
is baseball not outraged by this?
I guess we don't know yet. I think they're investigating. So apparently no arrests were made because there were inconsistencies in the stories, but there is a police report. He's subject to either suspension or fine at the discretion of the commissioner.
Okay, let me say it again. We're outraged by Ray Rice, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's this? 8 gunshots and assaulting the girlfriend?
Well, we don't know if he for sure did yet, right?
Well,
he
police were
firing
called.
The gunshots. The girlfriend said he choked me. He said he didn't.
So the Ray Rice thing,
Mm-hmm.
nobody paid attention to it until we had video.
Right, but we knew more for sure that happened. Trust me. I'm not saying he didn't do anything wrong because there's a good chance he did, but we don't know yet. So they're investigating.
So allegedly, he choked his girlfriend
and fired 8 gunshots.
8 gunshots in his house. And Major League Baseball's got no statement on this?
Not yet. They're investigating, and then the commissioner will make a ruling. But I actually think that this is good that the Dodgers are now taking a step back, apparently, and saying we're not sure if we want to go through with this trade because they can go through with the trade while this is being investigated.
All right. Okay, so this is the big...
It's sick. I actually think this is a good thing, though. It seems like all of the right steps are being taken. The Dodgers are doing the right thing. Baseball is doing the right thing, and we'll see how it unfolds.
Okay, so this is the big story. You sure you don't want to put it off for one more?
Do you want me to? Do you want me to save it for last?
Save it for last, because
I think you're going to talk about it for a while.
All right, yeah.
You're really excited about
I'm
this.
very excited about this story.
All right, I'll save it for last then. I got to switch around some stuff now.
Okay, go ahead. Take your time.
No, I got it. All right. DeMarco Murray has reportedly gone above Chip Kelly to the owner of the Eagles because he is frustrated with the role he has in the offense. Apparently, he does not want to cause a scene, but it's obviously a big enough deal that he feels he needs to go above Chip Kelly.
Yeah, I know DeMarco. I like him a lot. I really, really like him as a person. I think this is a pretty classy way to do it. If you're upset and you don't want to disrupt a team and you feel that Chip Kelly is tone deaf, what do you do if you're DeMarco Murray? Like, it's one of those things. Do you go above your boss? I don't like going above my boss.
I was just going to say, has there ever been a situation where you felt like you're going to go above your direct boss?
It's very difficult. I don't like doing that. I think I think it would make my boss mad if I went above my boss. But if he feels that Chip Kelly's tone deaf and he wants to say, listen, I love you guys. You're paying me a fortune. I don't know if I like it or not. I like DeMarco Murray. The 2 times I've interviewed him, I thought he was a classy kid. I like him. I think he's a good kid. I've interviewed him twice, and both times I came away and I was like, rock solid guy. Good dude. What's
the situation, though, that you'd go above? Like, how bad does it have to be?
It's
such a big struggle.
I'm not a big fan going above my boss. I had, I'm not going to get into particulars. I had a boss that was really, really bad one time at a job I recently had. And I felt that it was hurting the quality of the product. So I went above that person and I said, I think this person's hurting the department badly. And I left it at that.
Did it work out well for you?
Well, I wouldn't say it worked out well for me. I left that company and went to another great company, and that person was removed.
There you go.
Yeah.
It worked. Okay.
And that wasn't removed because of me. I think I was one of 30 people who said something.
Right.
I'll leave it at that. I didn't have the power. I just said, as a company, you should be very concerned about this. But I didn't get him fired. It was a long time coming.
And I'm sure you went through all the steps that you felt like you should before you went above his head.
Not really. I just walked upstairs and said, that guy's a bum.
I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt there.
Can we get to the amazing story?
I've got one more before we get there. You told me you wanted it last.
All right. You're
Jeez.
right. Okay, yeah.
Okay, Alabama's Derrick Henry, Stanford's Christian McCaffrey. They're both running backs named Heisman finalists. Also, Clemson's Deshaun Watson, the quarterback, all named Heisman finalists. A winner will be announced on Saturday night. But do you know it's been 5 years since a running back has been
Christian McCaffrey? Yes, I do know that. Christian McCaffrey's on our show, top of the hour. His dad was on last week. He set the record for the most all-purpose yards in the history of college football. If he doesn't win it, it's ridiculous.
Really? He
set a record for the most yards ever. The conference has never been better. 10 teams are bowl eligible. Did anybody watch him this weekend? He humiliated USC defenders, 5-star USC guys. He toyed with them. He's unbelievable. All right, here we
finally,
go.
Look at you. You're so excited.
Yeah.
You just came in during the break and you were ready to jump out of your seat.
Okay, here we go. I'm very excited.
The Big 12 has announced it will require Yes.
Use these words.
Okay,
Pop these
okay.
words. Let's do it.
I feel like I'm being tested again like yesterday. I need to really read this like a voiceover. Do you want Anthony to come do this?
No, you're very talented.
Thank you. Okay. The Big 12 has announced it will require conference football programs to annually play at least one non-conference game against a power conference institution.
Now think about this, Christine.
There's more, but go ahead with that.
The Big 12 and the Pac-10 or Pac-12, they already make you play 9 games in conference. SEC's 8. Mm-hmm. So you already have to play one less cupcake in the Big 12 and the Pac-12. And now the Big 12 saying on top of that, you got to go schedule. I tell you whose phone's ringing off the hook this morning, Purdue. God, everybody in the Big 12 is like, what's Purdue's phone number? You now have to play an extra conference game than the SEC and no cupcake. You have to do at least one legitimate Power 5 team. I love this by the Big 12.
And additionally, no Big 12 program shall play more than one game annually against a non-FBS opponent, which is, I think that's important too.
I think that's great.
So the new scheduling requirement does not impact existing non-conference game contracts. But we don't know quite yet when this is being put into effect.
Can you imagine what Baylor's AD is saying this morning? Good golly. I don't know what I'm going to do now. Holy, I don't even have the phone numbers of those legitimate schools. Baylor and Iowa, I don't even know what to. Boy, good thing Iowa's not in the Big 12. Good Lord. What would Iowa do?
Maybe they'll make a rule like that for them soon.
Actually, I will do it later in the show. I'm going to say something incredibly nice about Iowa.
Really?
It won't. No, I did my homework on this. It's something that's going to. It's my favorite segment of the day, and I'm saving it for the next hour.
Okay, that's the news.
Christine with the news.
Well, that's the news.
Great. Another steaming load of good news.
The Herd Lie News.
Guys, if you're wondering whether your shirt's too long to wear untucked, probably is. Untuckit.com solved the problem, making shirts designed to be worn untucked. Right length means the right look. Visit Untuckit.com. Use the code PERFECT for 15% off to improve your wardrobe today. Man, we got good stuff. I love that Big 12. So, listen, we all know, and we've said this several times on the show, phone number 877-757-HERD. We all know that even among the world's best golfers, baseball players, confidence is a very tenuous thing. Forget the average person walking on the street. They can lose confidence, scared of their own shadow sometimes. But even for the rich and the powerful in athletics, they can lose confidence, sound like a different person just based on one loss, one strikeout, one missed jumper. I saw something this morning. It was Ronda Rousey did an interview with ESPN The Magazine. Now, I'm going to roll tape. This is Ronda Rousey before she fought Holly Holm. Remember how verbose, how outspoken, how cocky, how confident Ronda Rousey was in her entire career. Here's her before the fight with Holly Holm.
You're going to get it on Sunday. You're not the first person that thought that you had the perfect plan to beat me. It's not the first time your camp thought that they had a perfect plan to beat me. I'm going to show you on Sunday why I'm the champion.
Very confident, almost obnoxious. Here's her quotes after losing.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240. Celebrate the holidays with cheer and basement bargain prices at One Stop Package in the Sunrise Market Center, Sunny Daisy. The brand new One Stop Package beverage store on Old Dayton Pike, just north of the Thrasher Light, with the best prices in town. Enjoy the lowest prices on beer, wine, liquor, and soft drinks. Hey, mention you heard this ad on Hot News Talk Radio and get 5% off your purchase. That's right. Mention you heard this on the radio and you'll get 5% off. The brand new One Stop Package beverage store in Sunny Daisy. Their prices are always the lowest prices in town. The lowest prices you'll find in the finest of adult beverages. The brand new One Stop Package in South Sunny Daisy at the Sunrise Market, featuring great prices on gas, bread, and milk. The Sunrise Market just across from Charlie's in Sunny Daisy. And remember, always drink responsibly.
Get 10% off every case of wine. You have an event coming up for the holidays, or maybe it is your daughter's wedding, or maybe just a church or office party, then you need to select Choo Choo Barbecue. That's correct, Choo Choo Barbecue. Whether you like pork, chicken, or beef, oh yes, Choo Choo Barbecue with their savory rub flavor. Oh my goodness, it's making me hungry right now. You add in their delicious smoked aroma, and you have set the table for a perfect meal with Choo Choo Barbecue. That's right, Choo Choo Barbecue. Why don't you give them a call right now? 423-843-9554. That's 843-9554. Call 423-843-9554. Choo Choo Barbecue. You know where it's located, off of Hickson Pike, right there at the Valley Brook area. Don't kid yourself. Your stomach is already on the way.
Tax-free investing, it's not what you make, it's what you keep. Edward Jones financial advisor Patrick Neal. Patrick will be giving a seminar December 10 at 6 o'clock and offering free barbecue dinner. His topic will be tax-free investing. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. We'll be talking about strategies in reducing your tax burden and in buying municipal bonds. Call 870-7894. That's 870-7894. Edward Jones and your host will be Patrick Neal, making sense of investing.
You want more business. You want to increase your bottom line. You want to spend less on advertising, imaging your business, and general expenses. You need Trade Bank. Trade Bank of Chattanooga. Trade Bank. Call now to get access to nearly 400 local businesses. Trade Bank. Call 877-2202. 877-2202. Trade Bank. You want to increase your cash flow, your competitive edge, attract new customers, and build a loyal customer base. You need Trade Bank of Chattanooga. Call right now. 877-2202. When you join Trade Bank, you'll get the benefit of free advertising in our monthly magazine, tradebank.com, emails, and mailouts. Join Trade Bank now and receive your Trade Bank debit card with trade credits to spend any way you want with our wide variety of Trade Bank partners. For almost 30 years, Trade Bank has been your voice for small business, a member of the American Bankers Association, and in good standing with you. Trade Bank of Chattanooga. Call now for a free consultation, 877-2202. That's 877-2202. Trade Bank of Chattanooga.
Compass Media Network's coverage of the NFL. Hi, this is Jerry Recco. Join Kevin Ray, Danny White, and myself for all the action.
Hot News Talk 1240.
If it's the NFL, it's right here.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
Hot News Talk 1240.
Wildly deceptive. Washington has Kirk Cousins, who almost completes 70% of his throws. Great kid. Zero chance at ever winning a Super Bowl with that kind of arm. Yeah, he's terrific on play action. Guess what? When it's 3rd and 9, Brady, Cam, Big Ben, Eli, it's not play action. Make a throw down the seam, 40 yards. Take risk. You want to be great, you got to take greater risk. 877-757-HERD. Oh, coming up. Is it Hunter lunchtime? Oh, that'll be interesting. Very, very excited about that. You're facing a tough decision. What do? You sleep on it. What if that decision is to get rid of your old lumpy mattress that's ruining your sleep? You get a Casper and you literally sleep on it. That's what I did. And I did it over a year ago. I have had more people. I'm not kidding you. Trent Dilford just did this about 2 weeks ago. Trent Dilford called me and he said, Colin, I went Casper and I cannot believe how good it is. It's been nearly 18 months since Casper.com totally upturned the mattress industry. And now they're planning to do the same with bedding, sheets, and pillows. You cannot believe 100 nights risk-free. You bring it in, you don't like it, 3 months later, they come and get it, give it to a charity. You don't pay for anything. And find another company that does that. Put Casper to the test. I did. 100 nights in your own home. Free shipping, free returns. Go to Casper.com, code HERD. And that'll get you 50 bones toward the purchase of your new mattress. Casper.com, code HERD. It could be the best company I've ever promoted. Casper.com. Back in a second.
By now, you've seen and heard all the commercials telling you how you can play and win big money by playing 1 week fantasy football. I'm Jeff Manns of Fantasy Alarm, and I'm one of those winning players you keep hearing about. People keep asking me, how did I start out playing 1 week fantasy football, and how do I keep winning consistently? Well, instead of lecturing you about stats and other things, how about I show you? We've built the ultimate one-stop shop of everything you need to get started, build lineups, and consistently finish in the money playing one-week fantasy football no matter what site you play on. The DFS Playbook Pro at fantasyalarm.com includes projection, positional coaches, tools, rankings, lineup generators, and even my optimal lineups for each and every week. So go to fantasyalarm.com/playbook. Find out how to get up to 1 year completely free. It's the only service you need to start winning. Go to fantasyalarm.com/playbook to start winning daily. That's the DFS Playbook Pro at fantasyalarm.com/playbook. Go to fantasyalarm.com/playbook.
Okay, here we go, people.
This is The Herd
Where are you again?
with Colin Cowherd.
I don't like people who manipulate to succeed. And so I don't root for people who cut in line at a theme park or people who beg for equal treatment but won't make the same sacrifices. So I don't root for Iowa because Iowa for 20 years, they want you to respect them this year, but for 20 years, they've never scheduled tough out-of-conference opponents. They're manipulating the system. Hey, we can go 4-0 out of conference, win half our Big Ten games, have 8 wins, and maybe get into the Fiesta Bowl. I'm sorry. Iowa fans want respect because they almost beat the only good team they played this year. You didn't face Ohio State. You didn't face Michigan. Before Saturday, you didn't face Michigan State, and you had no legit out-of-conference games. That was Iowa's first game versus a top 10 team in 2 years, and they lost that one too.
Colin Cowherd. Weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
What?
Shriners believe that every child deserves a chance to realize their full potential. A tragic gasoline explosion left young Dan Carroll covered with burns and with a slim chance of survival. That is, until a local Shriner heard about the accident.
Almost immediately, magic started happening.
Dan was airlifted to a Shriners hospital.
The doctor said, I know you're expecting the worst, but this is Shriners Hospital, and we're the finest burn center in the world.
Without the Shriners, I wouldn't be here right now. Like, seriously.
Shriners Hospitals offer some of the world's finest orthopedic and burn medical care to kids, totally free of charge. And there's a Shriners Hospital helping kids from this area. Today, Dan is a professional jazz drummer with a bright future.
I can do whatever I want to do. There's no limitations, and they help me learn that.
If you know a child that the Shriners could help, call 1-800-237-5055. Shriners, giving help and hope to kids for over 80 years.
Forget the hike to the post office with your express mail or priority mail packages, finding a parking space, and then waiting in line. Now there's a new free online service from the U.S. Postal Service called Carrier Pickup. Francia Smith, Vice President and Consumer Advocate of the U.S. Postal Service, explains.
Carrier Pickup means just that. Your letter carrier will pick up your domestic express mail or priority mail items at your home or office at no extra charge. Just visit us at USPS.com and request a pickup on the next scheduled mail delivery day. It's perfect to help customers manage their busy lives.
What else does it offer?
While you're online, you can also use our click and ship service to print mailing labels and add delivery confirmation service so you can keep track of your package and know when it's delivered. Customers can even create and store mailing lists, purchase postage, and order mailing supplies, all from the comfort of their own home. More convenience, easier access, that's what Carrier Pickup and the online services from the Postal Service are all about.
For more information on Carrier Pickup, visit USPS.com/pickup.
If you're like most people, you've got a calendar to help you stay organized, or a day planner, or some PDA you're still figuring out how to use. And it helps keep track of the anniversaries and birthdays that our overworked brains can't remember. That way we know exactly when things will happen and how long we can put off making arrangements for them. But there are some things in life that we can't put on our calendar because we don't know when they'll happen, if at all. Like some sort of household emergency, or a disaster, or even a fire. But when it does, the time to prepare for it has already passed. So get together with your family today and prepare for the unexpected by establishing a family disaster plan with help from your local Red Cross. That way you'll all know exactly what to do in the event of an emergency, where to go, who to call, how to help each other. But do it today so you won't get caught by surprise tomorrow. When we come together, we become part of something bigger than us all. To find out how to make your family disaster plan, visit redcross.org. The American Red Cross. Together, we can save a life.
Let's go! With the best when it comes to our social media footprint. I mean, just check it out.
Oh, for sure.
On Facebook, facebook.com/Fox Sports Radio, or on Twitter at Fox Sports Radio.
This is what freedom's all about.
Whether you like us on one or follow us on the other.
Isn't it amazing? It's amazing.
Your social media home for sports talk is right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Whoa.
The Herd
from Los Angeles
is on and popping.
Please, think before you come for the great one.
And we're back at it.
Got the drink, get me going bad to bad.
Once again, it's The Herd with Colin Cowherd
from Los Angeles.
Whoa.
Welcome back. No, I'll tell you something. I've been saying this for years. I think the whole thing about interceptions. I mean, you don't want a guy that throws 28. But if you look at the guys that win Super Bowls, we haven't had a dink and dunk quarterback win a Super Bowl in like 13, 14 years. You can't do it anymore. You got to throw the ball up the field. Kirk Cousins completes 70% of his throws. He never throws the ball up the field. I mean, that's why I doubt Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton's got unbelievable talent, so they may bail him out. I mean, Andy's kind of a dink and dunker, but his receivers are so great. He has unbelievable talent that he can throw the ball up for grabs sometime up the sideline. He doesn't even have to be terribly accurate, and those wide receivers will bring it down. Julio, A.J. Green, Marvin Jones. They have great tight ends. When Eifert can catch, he's unbelievable. When he's healthy and catches, he's unbelievable. They have good backs, great offensive line, so they may bail Andy Dalton out, but he's not a big risk taker, and I like my quarterbacks to take risks. All right, we call it hunch or lunch. Here we go.
Come on! Colin's got a hunch.
Tell me you weren't thinking this too.
If he's less than 50%,
that is nothing.
We'll get lunch. It's hunch or lunch in The Herd.
All right, 7 NFL games. I got to get 4. I have to be within 1 point. Christine, fire away.
We've had a pretty bad streak so far. We're starting with the Thursday night game, Vikings at Cardinals.
Arizona -6.
7.5, pretty close.
Okay.
By the way, I picked some really tough ones this week.
Yeah, you did a really good job, Goulet. Steelers at Bengals.
God, that is tough. Cincinnati -2.5.
-3.
Okay.
49ers at Browns.
God. That's what I said. Cleveland -1.5.
Come on.
Wow.
No way.
Did I nail it?
Yeah.
It's
Right
1.5.
on. Right on. You cheated. No way.
Oh, yeah, I've spent a lot of time.
I asked everyone else around here, and they all said the Niners were favorites.
You could be on your phone over there with the line.
No, listen, I've lost virtually every week, so I'm not cheating. If I was cheating, I'd be winning and not spending $1.50 for lunch.
I think we're behind actually on a couple lunches.
Yes,
again.
we are. About 6.
Chargers at Chiefs.
Well, I mean, Kansas City is going to be favored. Kansas City -7.
Up to 10.
Wow.
That's too many points. Kansas City doesn't blow people out like that. That's too many points. So it's 2-2.
2-2.
Saints at Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay -3.5.
Another one. Right on.
Yeah. Well,
that was one of the tough ones.
First of all, in the NFL, 3 and 3.5 is like half the lines. So if you just go 3 to 3.5, you're fairly safe.
So if you get this one right, I think
So what are we, 3 and 2?
Yeah,
3
you
and
don't
2.
have to buy us lunch.
Okay.
If you get this right.
All right.
Cowboys at Packers.
Oh, boy. After that triumphant win last night, it's very difficult for me. Okay, let's see. Green Bay has not been as good at home. I'll say 6.5. Green Bay -6.5.
Whoa.
7.5.
See, all these lines this week are 3.5, 3, 7.5, 7. So it's a pretty easy week. Feel pretty good about that. I still think I'm 3. So I won, right?
You won.
Well, you did. Do you want to do the last one?
What is my last one?
Patriots at Texans.
Sunday Night Football.
That's interesting. That's
no Gronk too.
No Gronk. See, that's interesting.
Is that for sure? No Gronk?
Well, it's leaning that way.
I would say New England -3.5.
It's 3.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's all these lines. I would imagine. You were shocked that I was able to get Cleveland.
The Cleveland one blows my mind. Johnny Manziel and Cleveland are a favorite against anyone. They're the worst team in the league.
Oh, right. The guys in Vegas are saying, I'll tell you what, Blaine Gabbert, let's give him 9. What do you?
He won at Chicago last week.
I know. It was a nice win for him. It was a nice win for him.
Congratulations, Colin.
Thank you. Chris in Atlanta, you're in the herd, bud. Fire away.
Hey, thank you very much. Great long-time viewer and everything like that. DVR it on the TV and everything, so
cool.
I can definitely watch it. Listen, the 2014 Bears had Brandon Marshall, had Jeffries, Forte, and had a great offensive line based on 2013. When they renewed Cutler's contract, that was I told everybody that was a disaster. They needed to keep Josh McCown. And
but you can't win. You're not going to win big with either because Cutler makes too many mistakes and McCown can't win you good games. But you're taking an example of Cutler. You're not going to do anything in this league with Josh McCown. He was like 35 on his 13th team. Now, you're not going to win a title with Cutler either, but Cutler makes throws that nobody in that organization has made for 25 years. Cutler makes throws that people in this league, 4 other guys can make. Big Ben, Cam, Aaron Rodgers. Cutler's got a hose. But he's too enigmatic for my taste, but he can make throws. Christian McCaffrey of Stanford coming up next hour of the herd. Hi, it's the herd. Every plan,
you
every
give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
WSDT Sunny Daisy.
Millions of dollars in prize.
CBS News. I'm Steve Kaith, and Donald Trump's defending his idea to ban Muslims from coming to the U.S. Critics have ranged from his fellow Republican presidential candidates like Ted Cruz.
I do not agree with his proposal.
To Britain's prime minister, who calls it divisive. To Philadelphia's mayor, who says it's, in his words, flat out ignorant. CBS's Stephen Portnoy says Trump is chief topic on Capitol Hill.
Fellow Republicans have begun to pile on. House Speaker Paul Ryan says it's incumbent upon him to speak out as a leader of the GOP.
What was proposed yesterday is not what this party stands for, and more importantly, it's not what this country stands for.
Former Vice President Dick Cheney said the same in a radio interview, and South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, still a presidential candidate, tells CNN,
"You know how you make America great again? Tell Donald Trump to go to hell."
Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The prosecution's rested in the trial of Baltimore police officer in the Freddie Gray case, and CBS's Steve Dorsey says the defense will begin its case tomorrow.
After the jury was sent home, the defense asked the judge to dismiss the charges against Officer William Porter, saying the state didn't have enough evidence and testimony to meet the burden required to prove Porter guilty of manslaughter, assault, and misconduct. The state argued Porter had a callous disregard for Freddie Gray's life when he failed to seatbelt him in safely into the back of a police transport van and neglected to get him medical attention even after he requested it. The judge denied the motion to dismiss the charges, saying there is enough evidence to continue the trial. Steve Dorsey, CBS News, Baltimore.
New information out today on the mass shooting last month in Colorado. CBS's Lee Frank.
The suspected gunman reportedly needed help finding the Planned Parenthood clinic. Sources confirmed to CBS News that Robert Louis Deere asked for directions at a grocery store shopping center next to the Colorado Springs Women's Health Building. His extreme anti-abortion views are believed to have been the reason for the attack, which killed a policeman and 2 other people.
Law enforcement sources tell CBS's Pat Milton surveillance video from the day before the San Bernardino attack shows the rented SUV used by the couple who carried it out in a mall parking lot. Chipotle says it believes norovirus is to blame for sickening around 80 Boston College students who ate at one of the chain's restaurants, and it does not believe it's linked to the recent E. coli outbreak. A new report finds the cost of child care is soaring. Lynette Fraga, executive director of the group Child Care Aware of America, crunched the numbers.
In 28 states and the District of Columbia, the average annual cost for an infant in center-based care was higher than a year's tuition and fees at a 4-year public college.
More evidence the job market's continuing to improve. The government says employers advertised fewer jobs in October, but overall hiring picked up and the number of people quitting their jobs rose slightly. Wall Street, the Dow is down 146. This is CBS News.
It's panic time. The boss just asked you when that new building will be completed, and you haven't even started yet. Well, don't panic. Call the name you know. General Steel. You've known General Steel for decades, and you know they'll save you about half the cost and about half the time of conventional construction. But did you know that General Steel has provided buildings for some of the biggest names in business and government? And did you know the General can provide pre-construction planning services for your total project? And I'll bet you didn't know you can get General Steel quality and save thousands. For example, a 40-foot by 60-foot building for under $22,000, or a 50 by 100 for under $35,000. That's right. 5,000 square feet for under $35,000, and all with General Steel's 50-year structural warranty. So don't panic. Call now and lock in some of the lowest prices this year. 866-96-STEEL. Call 866-96-STEEL today. Quick, the boss is coming. That's 866-967-8335.
A high-profile NFL player who spent time in prison is huddling today with Pennsylvania lawmakers. Here's CBS's Frank Sedapani.
Michael Vick was the star quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons when he was convicted in a dogfighting case and sent to prison for 21 months. Now, Vick is a backup with the Pittsburgh Steelers and an advocate for animal rights. These days, Vick is lobbying Pennsylvania legislators to pass the Pets in Cars bill. That bill would protect first responders from legal action if they break into vehicles to rescue a dog or cat that's been locked inside on a hot day. Vick has worked on a number of animal rights issues since his release from prison. Frank Sedapani, CBS News.
A South African judge granted bail for Paralympic athlete Oscar Pistorius, but he will have to remain under house arrest. Last week, a court convicted Pistorius of murdering his girlfriend, overturning a conviction on a lesser charge. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Looking great out there through the afternoon with lots of sunshine, highs warming into the lower 60s. Tonight, fair, lows into the upper 30s. May see a little more late fog. For Wednesday, increasing clouds, especially for the afternoon, highs near 60, partly cloudy and mild weather returns Thursday. For lunch or dinner, come to Guthrie's, home of the original golden fried delicious chicken finger with their special world famous sauce. Open daily locations in Trenton, Signal Mountain, and Ringgold. Go get Guthrie's. It's always good. And I'm 1412 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Ward.
On AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio. Compass Media Network's coverage of the NFL. Hi, this is Jerry Recco. Join Kevin Ray, Danny White, and myself for all the action.
Hot News Talk 1240.
If it's the NFL, it's right here.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
Hot News